Hey guys, it's Steph from the Hot Moon Podcast. If you're a Knicks fan, you got to have hope, right? You got to have belief in your team. We know what the national narrative has been on the New York Knicks during the regular season, that they can't beat, the top four seeded teams. They have like a very bad record against the top four teams in the NBA. And in my mind, I'm like, on paper, when you look at this Knicks roster, I've always said this, they have one of the better rosters, in my opinion, in the NBA. You go for their bigs with Mitchell, okay, Karl Anthony Towns, okay, their wing players, wing defenders, and Mikal Bridges, who they traded a lot to get, and I'm gonna get into that. That really seemed like Bridges seemed every word to that trade in this game. All right, and then you got, like I said, Josh Hart, okay, OG Anunoby. All right, then you got McBride coming off the bench, and of course, like as a backup guard too, the man of the show, featuring Jalen Brunson. Okay, this game was absolutely awesome for the New York Knicks. Tom Thibodeau coached his best game, in my opinion. This game started out scary, but let's go ahead and get into it, man. Look, the Knicks came out there, and it was looking like the same old Knicks. The same old Knicks that's going to get shellacked by the Boston Celtics, per usual, and just demoralize them. Like, we're in a different league. We're coming off a championship. Okay, you guys do not belong on the court with us. All right, we have all our guys healthy. Then Porzingis goes out with an illness, oddly enough. Okay, Porzingis has always been in and out of the lineup, injury prone, yada yada. This time illness, I will count that as an injury, whatever. Okay, so it was looking very disastrous for the Knicks and demoralizing. But to make a ride like this, you got to give credit to Tom Thibodeau, breathing life into this team and making them clamp down on defense. But I got to give OG Anunoby a lot of props for keeping his team and going off in the third to give them a fighting chance. The Knicks are best when you give Jalen Brunson a time to cook. You got to get to the fourth quarter. All right, he is the clutch player for a reason. All right, he won the award this season, and boy, did he show out. Okay, in the fourth quarter, going to overtime. Man, they played excellent defense. Brunson hit some great threes. All right, he had a costly turnover in that fourth. Okay, he missed the last shot above Horford. He normally makes those shots. But the star of overtime was Mikal Bridges. Man, was he fantastic defensively. And I got to give him a lot of credit. I said it was a bad trade. I still do think it was a bad trade, just that the Knicks gave up so much to get Mikal Bridges. But you can quell a lot of that if he's gonna have performances like this. Defensively, he came in clutch. Obviously, the steal at the end of the game to seal it. But he played lockdown defense. He played a lot of minutes. He's an Iron Man. This is the type of team that Tom Thibodeau can work with, right? And I'm shocked at how many times that the Boston Celtics had left Al Horford on an island with Jalen Brunson going down the fourth quarter and in overtime, man. Crazy. What an excellent performance by the New York Knicks, man. We saw the Cleveland Cavaliers the other day lose to the Indiana Pacers, okay, where many people thought that the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to go and win that series, just like we think the Celtics are going to go on and win this series, which is still very true for both of those series going on. But clearly those teams didn't win. All right, we thought that the Celtics and Cavs are going to be on a collision course, and this time around, this year is different. All right, now we can talk about the Celtics, how they got through the East last year. They really didn't face any resistance. Okay, can the New York Knicks provide the most resistance? I like this Knicks team. I was liking this Knicks team in early this year. I've mentioned in the past that the Knicks fare well with the Karl Anthony Towns trade. Compared, and the Minnesota, did they really were foolish to let a big go like that? You can get into the contractual reasons why they probably let Karl Anthony Towns go and stuff like that, but it seemed like both teams, the Wolves and the Knicks, fared well equally in this trade, in my opinion, considering the value that each trade assets meant to each team. Man, for the New York Knicks to go in and get game one, people were saying that, can the Knicks if the Knicks can make this a 6-game series, it'd be highly impressive, right? The Knicks just got to find a way to win one more game in this series, and it would be a wild success for Tom Thibodeau. Okay, it seemed like the Knicks were battle testing that Detroit series compared to the Boston Celtics, not really having a real fight against the Orlando Magic, right? So the Knicks come in there amped up, ready to go, and man, what a way for them to lock down. And not let the Celtics get in their head of like same old. Like they dog walked them in the regular season. Tatum was averaging 34 points. again in the regular season against the New York Knicks. And I mean, yo, do I expect OG Anunoby to have 29 points? No. Do I expect Jalen Brunson to have 29 points? I expect Jalen Brunson to have a big series. I do. Karl-Anthony Towns didn't erupt. He didn't erupt either. So there's a path forward for the New York Knicks. I know this is first game overreaction, but you got to take each game and see how games like this can truly manipulate the series, right? Game one is always important for the road team, in my opinion. You saw what the Indiana Pacers were able to do. You saw what Minnesota was able to do to the LA Lakers, considering that there were underdogs in that series and the Knicks were underdogs in this series. I didn't think the Knicks would get swept. But if they have lost this game, you know, the talks could have been sweep. Celtics in 5, because you give the Knicks a game. Brunson gets you a game. Brunson got you a game along with Anunoby. Nobody thought Anunoby would come in playing monster. And they match up well. They size up very well. I get they didn't have Porzingis majority of this game. But when you look at their bigs with Mitchell and Karl-Anthony Towns, there was a defensive gaffe in that fourth quarter. And I'm like, dude, why are you so focused on the 3-point line? You need to be down in the paint. You know what I'm saying? I think he let Holiday going for like a sneak layup, or White going there for a sneak layup. Something like, I'm like, what are you doing, Carl? You know, but he played better defense in overtime. And I mean, this is the type of Knicks team when their backs against the wall, we saw their players shine. They acquired a lot in getting Mikal Bridges, trading for Karl-Anthony Towns. They built this team to go toe-to-toe with the New York Knicks, and we saw that on full display. You know what I'm saying? Now I get the outliers not having Porzingis. How much of a factor is Porzingis going to be if he comes back in this series, stretching the bigs out? We know he's a perimeter player when shooting 2s and shooting 3s, so we'll see. Okay, the Celtics got to wake up now. All right, the Knicks are playing with house money. I know New York Knicks fans are happy. I'm happy for the New York Knicks. It's been a long time since there was any faith in the Knicks, right? And I like the trade. Them getting Karl-Anthony Towns. I like the New York Knicks roster going into the regular season. Okay, I always thought that the Knicks, like anything short of getting to a conference finals was a failure, or a conference finals was a failure in my opinion. And it's because of just the amount of talent on his team. And yeah, Jalen Brunson, I thought he was a superstar last year. You know what I'm saying? He's confirming it now. And I mean, Jalen Brunson has been Mr. Fourth Quarter in the NBA. I mean, I don't know a better guy who you want in fourth quarters than Jalen Brunson at this point. And for him to be doing it in a New York Knicks uniform is absolutely amazing. And against this Boston Celtics team who just won a championship, the Celtics got to be careful and buckle up for this series. I think this is going to be a wild one. You know, can the Celtics do? A lot of people are still going to have the Celtics winning this series in 6. You know, winning this series. You know, possibly even after losing in 5. Some are going to say in 6. Some Celtics fans may even go deep and think 7. But you know what? It's going to be I'm just going to look at each game at a time. I'm not going to sit here and make these predictions with this series, considering I think they match up very well. You know, and it's glad that we're not going to just see the Celtics just walk along to the finals, right? People were penciling the Celtics in as a shoo-in. And another thing too, right? I'll end it on this. And I don't know if I've talked about it in the past, but I've noticed that the Knicks Celtics have blown massive leads in the regular season. And when I say blown, I mean I'm talking blowing 15 plus leads and either losing a game or it coming down to the last second, right? I'm over here spitting on getting hyped on this mic, man. My bad, man. Excuse me. But I remember the Cavs when they lost to the Cavs in the regular season, they blew a big lead. Right. And so this Celtics team can be had when the threes aren't falling down and everything like that and raining down, you know, or they built such a big lead and the threes stop working. The analytics works against them. Right. This team is flawed. This team is not perfect, just like any other team in the NBA, you know, and I thought that the Knicks were just getting too much heat for not being able to beat the best teams. But it's like, yo, let's see how this team play in the playoffs, how they fare well in the postseason. And it seemed like things are coming together. What a game. This is the type of game that can give massive momentum to the New York Knicks and give this franchise and its team life, led by head coach Tom Thibodeau and their star player Jalen Brunson. Shout out to Mikal Bridges, man. I was hard on him just because of the trade value, and you're trying to see like, yo, like that's so much they gave up. But in this, you see that in this series, Mikal Bridges is going to be a massive X factor. OG Anunoby is going to be a massive X factor. Only problem with the New York Knicks, I got to see more for Karl Anthony Towns. He has to be aggressive down low. He only took 1 3-point shot. That's good. But he has to be a better finisher down low and wreak havoc. I think he's the better big man in this series by far. And he's going to have a game where he's going to have to dominate and feast. Let me know what y'all think about this game. What a hell of a game for the New York Knicks. I'm excited for this series, man. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. I'm out.